It was a quiet night on Privet Drive when Albus Dumbledore appeared under the street lamps, extinguishing each one with a magical device. Soon, Professor McGonagall transformed from a cat to her human form, waiting in silence. Moments later, Rubeus Hagrid arrived on a flying motorbike, cradling a sleeping baby. Dumbledore and McGonagall spoke in hushed tones about the fall of Lord Voldemort, the dark wizard who killed James and Lily Potter. Miraculously, baby Harry survived with only a lightning-shaped scar. They agreed that Harry must grow up away from the fame and danger of the magical world, for now. Hagrid gently handed over baby Harry, wiping a tear as he said goodbye. The three wizards stood over number 4 Privet Drive. Dumbledore placed a letter explaining everything on the baby's blanket. McGonagall looked unsure, but trusted Dumbledore's decision. They quietly left, vanishing into the night, leaving Harry at the doorstep. Inside the house, the Dursleys slept soundly, unaware of the magical destiny placed outside their door. Vernon Dursley was a grumpy man who worked at a drill company, and Petunia was his nosy wife. They despised anything unusual or magical. Their world was about to change forever. As the night faded into morning, baby Harry lay in a basket, the letter beside him. A small hand reached for the blanket. His scar glowed faintly under the streetlight. Though unaware, the boy who lived had already begun a journey that would reshape the wizarding world forever. Harry Potter, now nearly 11, lived in a tiny cupboard under the stairs at number 4 Privet Drive. The Dursleys treated him like a burden. His cousin Dudley bullied him daily, and his Aunt Petunia made him do chores. Harry's life was lonely, unfair, and completely devoid of affection. One morning, Harry noticed a letter addressed to him in the mail, specifically to Mr. H. Potter, the cupboard under the stairs. Shocked, he tried to open it, but Uncle Vernon snatched it away. It was the first letter Harry had ever received in his life, and he wasn't allowed to read it. The next day, more letters came. Some flew through the mail slot, others appeared in eggshells. Uncle Vernon grew increasingly paranoid, sealing the mailbox and burning the letters. But they kept arriving, hidden in socks, under doors, even through the chimney. No matter what he did, Vernon couldn't stop them. Harry watched in amazement as letters kept pouring in. The Dursleys panicked. Vernon nailed shut the letterbox and boarded up windows. Finally, in a desperate attempt to escape the relentless flow of letters, he drove the family far away to a remote, stormy island with nothing but a shack on the rocks. On Harry's 11th birthday, he sat alone in the hut, drawing a birthday cake in the dust. As the clock struck midnight, a massive boom shook the door. Someone, or something, was outside. Harry stared wide-eyed as the door rattled. The letter he was never allowed to read was finally coming to him. Just after midnight, the shack's door crashed open. A towering man with wild hair and a tangled beard stepped inside. It was Rubeus Hagrid, keeper of keys and grounds at Hogwarts. Harry stared in shock as Hagrid bent down, handed him a slightly squashed birthday cake, and smiled warmly. Vernon Dursley leapt to block Hagrid, but the giant man lifted him aside like a feather. Hagrid turned to Harry and revealed the truth: he was a wizard. Harry was stunned. He had never felt special before. Hagrid handed over a letter. Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry had accepted him. Petunia shrieked and ranted about Harry's parents. She called Lily a freak and insisted they had always tried to stamp out Harry's magic. Hagrid grew furious, exposing Vernon and Petunia's lies. He explained that Voldemort had killed Harry's parents, and Harry was famous in the wizarding world for surviving. Hagrid softened his tone and told Harry more about Hogwarts, an enchanted school where he would learn magic, ride broomsticks, and make friends. For the first time in his life, Harry smiled with real hope. He couldn't believe this was really happening to him. It all felt like waking from a nightmare. As the storm raged outside the shack, Hagrid warned the Dursleys not to interfere again. He invited Harry to come with him and prepare for school. Harry looked back one last time at the shack and followed Hagrid outside, stepping into a world that had always been his by birthright. The next morning, Hagrid and Harry set off for London. As they entered the Leaky Cauldron pub, everyone recognized Harry instantly. Wizards rushed to shake his hand. Harry was confused by the attention, but Hagrid simply smiled and led him through a brick wall into the magical shopping street, Diagon Alley. Harry's eyes widened at the bustling street. Shops sold spellbooks, cauldrons, and enchanted pets. Hagrid guided him to Gringotts Bank, a massive white marble building guarded by goblins. Inside, they rode a wild cart deep underground. First stop, Harry's vault, filled with gold. Harry was speechless at the sight. Next, Hagrid requested a mysterious package from Vault 713, refusing to tell Harry what it was. The goblin looked nervous but agreed. They returned to the surface, and Hagrid reminded Harry not to mention the package to anyone. Harry was curious, but trusted Hagrid completely. They visited shop after shop. At Madame Malkin's, Harry got fitted for robes. He picked up a cauldron, schoolbooks, and a wand. In Ollivander's, he tried several wands until one chose him, Holly and Phoenix Feather, the twin of Voldemort's. Mr. Ollivander gave Harry a knowing, intense look before saying goodbye. Hagrid handed Harry his ticket for the Hogwarts Express and reminded him of platform 9 3/4. They stopped for ice cream before saying farewell. Harry sat on a bench, surrounded by magical items, still stunned by everything. For the first time in his life, he felt like he belonged somewhere. His journey had truly begun. Harry stood at King's Cross Station, staring at platforms 9 and 10. Hagrid had vanished, and Harry was confused about how to find platform 9 3/4. He overheard a red-headed family talking about Hogwarts. The twins joked, and their mother, Mrs. Weasley, kindly guided Harry toward the magical barrier. He nervously ran toward the barrier, and passed through. On the other side, the Hogwarts Express waited, billowing smoke. Students bustled everywhere. Harry boarded the train and found an empty compartment. Moments later, Ron Weasley entered. The boys introduced themselves and began sharing snacks from the trolley, chocolate frogs, Bertie Bott's every flavor beans. Ron talked about growing up in a wizard family, while Harry explained his Muggle upbringing. Harry felt relief learning others had grown up with magic. Their friendship formed quickly, as they laughed and bonded. Ron was amazed Harry was the famous one, though Harry hated being in the spotlight. Then Hermione Granger entered. She was bossy, intelligent, and already dressed in school robes. She fixed Ron's broken wand spell and corrected Harry on spell pronunciation. Though a little intense, she intrigued both boys. Soon after, Draco Malfoy arrived, offering friendship, and insulted Ron. Harry refused him, choosing friendship over status. As night fell, the train reached Hogsmeade Station. The students stepped out into the cold air. Hagrid waited, calling for first years. Harry, Ron, Hermione, and others crossed the dark lake in boats. Hogwarts Castle gleamed in the distance, towering, magical, and glowing with candlelight. Harry stared in awe at his new home.